Hello, everyone. Melody, thank you so much for joining us today. It's great to see you, and thanks for joining our conversation. Diversified Supply is a women-owned business. You guys started about 30 years ago. Can you talk us through a little more about the business? You distribute electrical supply products. Can you share us through more about the company and your journey with the company?
Absolutely, and thank you for asking. So Diversified Supply started off with one customer many years ago. We started in 1987, and so we've been in business officially this year will be 35 years, going really strong. We built the business based on our customer service, on-time deliveries, being able to deliver the products to the customer in a timely fashion, and being very diverse. We will supply whatever our customer needs us to supply. So we have very different facets of our business. We offer on-site material management. Anytime there's a large construction project going on, we will actually send employees with inventory to help manage so that contractors don't have downtime waiting on material and supply to come in. As the project starts winding down, we reduce our inventory. It has proven to have significant cost savings for the end customer, and they really appreciate that. And we also have partnerships with various other companies. We are a minority-owned company, and so that has opened some doors for us as well. Dan Anderson, owner of the company, though, likes to win the business based on our merit and our customer service, not the fact that we are a minority-owned company. So once we win the business, we tend to keep the business due to how we service our customers. We are really rocking and rolling through this whole pandemic environment. It did create some supply issues. There's a large demand out there, and the supply, unfortunately, isn't what it used to be pre-pandemic, but we were very smart. We stocked up on some inventory, and we have great partners with our manufacturers. And so we've been able to be very successful and continue to keep the doors open, no loss of employees, maintain our current level of all benefits for the employees. So it's been a trying experience, but we learned a lot through it.
It's a great story. And you're also in an executive role at Diversified Supply. You're the chief financial officer, and women being at the helm, and close to 50% of our employees are women, and that's something DCKAP is really proud of. So can you talk about women at Diversified Supply, and also maybe your career progression as a CFO? I mean, I love finance personally because it really helps you manage money in a better way. So yeah, I would love to hear from a CFO.
I don't know how much I can actually tell you, because a lot of people find finance a little boring. You know, it's exciting for me. You know, I'm like you. I started with the company about 7 years ago. I actually came to the fuel industry and did not have the electrical wholesale distributor experience, you know, in my expertise. And so I just dug in and tried to learn as much as I could, you know, about the business. Dan has been a great teacher, and we have a wonderful staff, you know, of people that I have worked with. And the company has tripled in revenue since I came on board. And so that's very much a success story. You know, I'm very pleased with that. When I first came on board, Dan and I talked about our 5-year plan, our 10-year plan, and our 10-year plan we actually achieved in 5 years' time. So that was very exciting, you know, for all of us. We tend to try to not hire a lot of excess employees. Our employees are definitely busy on an ongoing basis. You know, we always have more projects than we can really wrap our hands around, but somehow we seem to make it work. And our employees, we, you know, have a lot of incentive programs set up for the employees. We're very generous with our benefits and everything. And so it's a great place to work.
That's amazing. And have the right size of team, very finance-like. And yeah, makes a lot of difference having the right number of people, not really having excess people. And also having a great leader makes a big difference to one's career. And thanks for sharing your insights on that as well. Um, Diversified Supply uses Evolution X as your e-com platform, and we are great partners with them, and we love working with the Tech group. Can you also talk us through why you chose Evolution X and how is that solving problems for you?
So when we first ventured down the path of revamping our website, we initially chose another B2B, provider. And 21 months into the project, they just weren't able to make it work with our back office software, which we use Epicor product Profit 21. And so we basically had to scrap the entire project and we were back to square one. We were introduced to ES Tech group, and that's where we landed, with Evolution X. The people, and they had a lot of great people to work with, but they were also missing that piece of the Profit 21 integration, and that's where DCKAP Chorus, came into play. I actually attended a Profit 21 users group in New Orleans in 2018, and DCKAP had a presentation there and sat through your presentation, was very impressed with it, actually came back and told the IT department that we might want to sort of, keep this information under our hat. It could be that we might want to do business with you guys because you got rave reviews from your customers. There was a lot of customer testimonials, and I was very impressed with the respect that everyone had for your company.
Thank you so much, Melody. It means a lot to us, and we love working with Profit 21 customers. And the closest product is now called the DCKAP Integrator. We just went through messaging exercise or a rebrand. So yeah, thanks for joining us on the Profit 21 session in 2018. And we really enjoy working with Profit 21 customers, and we really learn a lot by working with them. And can you share a little more about your experience working with the DCKAP Integrator product itself and how it solved some of the pain points for your integration needs with respect to Evolution X and Profit 21 together?
Well, working with DCKAP was absolutely the most marvelous experience. You had some very technical savvy employees that was on the project, and no matter what, y'all were bound and determined to keep that project on the timeline. Every time we ran into an obstacle or a hurdle, you were absolutely, spot on trying to get to the bottom of it, get it resolved, get us back on track on a timely basis. It was a great experience. You were very knowledgeable. The employees that I worked with, I was very impressed with their knowledge of Profit 21 and how I was able to just say, okay, this is what I want to see. And you were able to take that information, filter it down, and then make it happen for me. And I threw out a lot of different scenarios because we have a lot of customers that have unique needs. And I, first and foremost, always want to service those customers and make sure that we take care of them. And your team was very easy to work with. They were very understanding about the different needs that we had, and they were able to offer a lot of solutions of how we could overcome, the obstacles, and kept us on our timeline. They were great about that.
Thank you for the great feedback. We really appreciate it. And when it comes from a customer, it means a lot to us and to our team. And we are super proud to have Diversified Supply as our customer. And we really enjoyed working with you and your team as well. How do you see the future of distribution industry changing with all that is happening around us?
So I think that the future of the distribution industry is just wide open. With the onset of the pandemic, I think a lot of the construction projects in particular have really changed direction. There's a lot of pharmaceutical, healthcare, hospice care type buildings that are going up. So there's been tremendous growth in that direction. And then companies are realizing that there's different ways for them to be able to perform the job with fewer employees, outsourcing, doing things of that nature. And so the procurement department in particular, we step in and do a lot of procurement so that companies don't have to add a tremendous amount of vendors to their database. And so we're able to satisfy that need. But I see distribution just continuing to grow. I see great future for distributors.
That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. And our mission is to simplify commerce for distributors. And what advice do you have for other distributors out there who would like to simplify their commerce or to improve on their digital presence?
So, I'm not sure that I can really offer any advice because every company has their own processes. They have their own way of doing business. I do strongly recommend that any company that does not have updated B2B platforms and really using the most advanced technology that they get on board, because that is where the future is. More and more of the larger companies and customers are looking for the companies that are investing in their technology. So technology is where the dollars really need to be spent.
Invest in tech and be mindful of your investments. Really well said. And I would like to end with this question. So what book are you reading right now?
I'm actually reading an interesting book. It's called The Road Less Stupid by Keith Cunningham. And it's about stopping to think through decision-making processes and not reacting emotionally and making stupid mistakes. So it's a great business book.
Great. I'm going to check it out. And I'm actually reading The Deep Purpose by
yes.
Ranjay Gulati. That's an interesting book as well. It talks about, it was actually gifted to me by one of my colleagues, Samuel, from the marketing team. And it talks about every company needs to have a purpose. And it also makes me think, what's the purpose in my life, right? So what's the purpose of my life? So it's really interesting and very intriguing. So yeah, that's what I'm reading. And yeah, thank you for this sharing. Thank you for sharing your experiences, Melodie. Really enjoyed chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a great conversation. I'm sure it's going to help a lot of other distributors out there. And thank you for joining us.
Not a problem. It was a pleasure talking with you.